Hello there, you sexy people. My name is Rafael, and today I'm here to do a makeup look and talk about some subjects that I want to talk about and speak my mind on. If you're new here, hello, and if you've seen a couple of my videos, hello. I wanted to do a little, this friend of mine, she's an absolute goddess and she is so insanely nice. She got me a new makeup palette, and it's the NYX Ultimate with like loads of colors, so your boy can have a lot more fun now. And she also gave me some really nice shades, also from NYX. And I also have some like quote-unquote primer now because I have like eczema. I have that under my eyes, so it gets like really dry. So I'm gonna start with a little bit of primer, definitely like under my eyes and like on my eyes. Never take my makeup videos as a makeup tutorial. Rather take it as an opportunity to do your own makeup the way that you would, and then we're just gonna be two friends doing our makeup, okay? Or maybe start drawing a bit and start thinking with me, because I don't really have planned out what I'm gonna start talking about. There are certain subjects that I think would be nice to like get into. I guess we will see where this all goes. As you can see, my hair has gotten longer and I turned 19, so wish your boy a happy late birthday or whatever. And I had an amazing birthday party. It was really fun, and like a lot of my friends came, and I received a couple of gifts, like this shirt and this beautiful amulet with 19 stones on it. It's not working! Okay. Ah! Okay. Bitch is back. Now I have like a better plastic band. And as you can see, my hair is longer, so I can almost have like a high ponytail, but it's not quite long enough just yet. But it's getting there. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited about that. Okay. Okay, so let's get into it. Get into it! Yeah! Oh, and also look at my earrings. It's upside down now. It's the tree of life. There you go. You get the premise. Okay. I'm annoyed because I could not find what I want to find. So I guess I'm gonna have to keep it simple for today. Okay, yeah, I guess we're gonna have to keep it simple. But I don't know how I'm going to do this. Maybe I can make like a smaller brush out of this big brush somehow. Okay, I'm gonna start with some orange in my inner corner, because I think that adds like a nice, fiery, like a flowery effect. Makeup artist shit. Okay, and then I think I'm gonna do a little bit of orange here as well. Make it like go into my almost waterline. No, my eye bags. Okay, let's start talking about something. So I kind of wanted to start talking about like sexism, because that's like an interesting topic for me, at least, to talk about, because I think it's like insane how sexism like affects everything in our day-to-day life. Like every single decision we make has some sexism involved, and like especially seeing that I've like kind of seen both sides of the story, like the masculine and the feminine side of the spectrum, and still do from day to day but then like with some extra homophobia and like transphobia sprinkled on top of it. It's like the motion of like, nope, you can't play with dolls because that's for women. And then when you go into transition, they're like, nah, but now you can't fart in public and you can't burp in public because that's not very woman-like of you. That's not very feminine of you. And then it's like, bro, leave me be. I don't know, like that has always bothered me. And it was like in sexism, I don't know, it's also so like realistic that I mean, there's so many things about it that we know already, like the job differences and the way that people get treated, the expectations in fashion and in beauty. Like there's so much shit just attached to it. Like there's so much like unnecessary drama behind gender, and like it really depends like from like place to place as well, like how it like gets transmuted, I guess, like the way that it like plays part in the city that it like resides in, and in what way it like it manifests itself. Because there's certain countries where like men are expected to be like very fancy gentleman, like beautiful, need to keep yourself together, manly, strong, take care of things, fucking all that stuff. But then you also have places where it's like men, like, I don't know, just drink your beer and like watch a fucking football show, and the women will take care of everything. Like you don't have to speak, like the wife will do it for you. Like, and it all just feels so corrupt. Like there's always such like you have man and you have woman. Like Aurora says, like there seems like people say there is a war between man and a woman. But then it's like, but why is there a war between man and a woman? Like why does it need to be that way? And like of course it's because of like millions, yeah, well thousands of years of like opinions and ways that like things have grown, because there's also like some natural part to like the gender roles, and like I mean, like it is realistic that like especially back in the day, like when things were less populated and overtaken by humankind, like that it was still realistic that the person with the uterus like was the person that gave birth to the baby, and then they also had to breastfeed. So then they would get kind of the role of taking care of the baby, and because this person was taking care of the baby, the other person in the relationship should like be taking care of the food and maintenance and making sure that everybody is safe in the situation, and just like loving the family in a sense. I don't know, I think that's like very interesting, because sometimes I kind of understand where like the concept of sexism comes from, but then the way that I get very confused about it is like, why is it still so prominent in our like conscious like being like years later? And like I mean, it's quite clear that it's because like a lot of people lack the like in conversation piece, even like they don't even want to talk about it, they don't want to change anything about it. And I mean, like I do still believe that like somehow like three like very main issues, like racism and sexism and like homophobia, so like a phobia against, well, a phobia against like the LGBT community, like it all somehow has its common enemy, which is like complete ignorance and not wanting to understand. And it's not even naivety, it might start from being naive, but then the difference between being naive and being ignorant is like the fact that you want to learn or not. I do believe in myself that there is a part that like can relate to like the female side of things, especially because sometimes I really do decide to like present myself as female. So then I do have like the predatorial issues that men have on women at times, like the, I hope you get what I mean, like the way that men like can be such predators. And also just me with being like quite a feminine presenting masculine type, like I actually get like quite a lot of like boys being interested in me. And if anything, because normally they do not feel too interested in men, then when they do like see me and see something interesting in me, they go after it like head first, and it gets like them and me very uncomfortable, because it's like, what do you want from me? I thought you were straight, excuse you, go like back off, and it gets so confusing. In that sense, I do kind of understand like what it's like to be in the shoes of like being outside as a woman and being feminine presenting, and the way that people can react to it. But then at the same time, I can make the decision to like be like to tomorrow decide like, okay, today I'm going to like fucking keep my hair like down, put on like a big fucking coat, and present myself as a man, and like get a lot more privilege and like pass more. And there's a lot of people that do not get that privilege. So that's just very confusing to me, because like these are such main issues that like also, because then I did say that there's like we seem to have like a common enemy, like when it comes to like homophobia, sexism, and racism, like that there's like this common enemy to it, but the way that it manifests, it's like hateful and spiteful and ignorant and just like trashy. But then the way that it genuinely like factually manifests is so different between like the issues, because like I have this one friend, and I had this like conversation with her, and I like me being on the side of homophobia, and then well, like we didn't really pick sides, but we like more like had our different perspectives going into the conversation. So my perspective was more focused on homophobia and transphobia and just like the whole like LGBT issue, and then her perspective was way more about like the sexism and the feminism part of it all. And like I did notice that there were like moments where we would kind of have our like find our community within each other. Like we would feel as if like there was like things that were similar to each other, but then once we started actually talking about the conversation piece, like it became really hard to have the discussion, because like it even seemed at times that we would start to like compete like where it's like, which one of us has it like tougher, and that's like fucked up. There's this like really toxic thing in the brain which like kind of gets so used and almost pitiful to the self that like starts to create this like illusion as if it's like best to have it the worst almost, because then you might feel like you have the privilege to step up the most. When like the thing is that it's not to be compared. You cannot be competing these things, because that's what I mean. The common enemy is there. Like you have your own common enemy. Like the common enemy is this stick, but then like fucking racism and homophobia and sexism, like it's all like its own issue and its own manifestation of the issue. Like, and it's so difficult because it's like you want to help each other in like the way that you know that the common enemy is there, but then the way you cannot relate. Like I could never completely relate with sexism because I like, well, I mean, of course, because I still get the other perspective of it. Like I get told like you cannot play with dolls because you're a man. You cannot wear a dress. Like, ew, you're a man and he's wearing a skirt. Like, ew, what is wrong with that? Like, and for me, I identify as non-binary, gender fluid. But then other people see me as this masculine figure, and they have not, like, they in their brain cannot comprehend the concept of non-binary and gender fluid yet, because they have not educated themselves or have not been educated about this issue. So the way that they, like, their brain like processes my identity is a man wearing a skirt, and they cannot go around it somehow. All they could maybe think is that's like they want to be a woman, like they are transgender, like you want to be like a woman, but then I still have like this masculine presenting face. So then it's like, what the fuck are you doing? You're a man wearing a skirt. Because people are like so wired to voice crack, so wired to like have this perspective about things to I'm gonna continue doing my makeup. Sorry to anybody if I'm triggering anybody. Please like write in the comments like where you think I'm off, because I would love to have like a good conversation about this, because it's such a major big issue that I could not even like like put into one video, because that's impossible. Like it has been going on for centuries, and I'm like only fucking 19 years old now. I do believe that we should all be fighting together. Like, I do really believe that we should like grab our hands together, like all the issues that we are coming from with the same enemy, that we say, fuck this enemy, let's step the fuck up and not stop looking at each other like I have it worse than you or I have it better than them. Let's just continue focusing on the goddamned enemy. Which like shortly said is literally like white straight man. Like the thing is, like this is, I still, what always boggles in my head is that I know what it's like to be like looked down upon, and like literally I walk across the street and I feel like I'm a prey, like, and that's fucked up because I'm a bad bitch and I shall be the predator. No, I'm like a peaceful human being, and let's all groove together. But then when I'm wearing my skirt and having my little hair in a ponytail and like not wearing any makeup and like I'm wearing like my fucking hobo jacket, like I do feel like people see me as this like prey, as this like this animal that they should be preying upon because like I'm different, and because that's such a realistic issue, is that by now we are not being like in many countries it's still very realistic, but in the Netherlands at least, like you're not gonna walk outside and be like, oh my god, a tiger. Like you're not gonna find like an animal that's like genuinely scary for you. Like the scariest animal you have in the Netherlands is like a bee if you are allergic. Like that's like the scariest situation when it comes to like animals, unless like you want to step on any animal, like any animal would hurt you. But like eventually like mankind, like the humans, like actually become the main issue to predatory and prey like behavior, because now suddenly we're like, well, we've always probably done this, but by now we're actually like kind of fighting among each other, and like I think that's an issue, because wouldn't it be so nice if we could all just say like, hee hee, I'm gonna go naked today, and then another person like, it's summer but I'm gonna wear like this big ass like snow costume, like stilo, and then this other bitch, which is me, is like, I'm gonna wear a skirt and like do twirling around the street. And then you have like someone else that's like, I'm going to wear like a suit and then no shoes and no underwear, commando. Like, why can we all not just like have fun and be like little individuals? Like, wouldn't that be so funny to have like one rainbow kid over here, then one like black and white, then like one like completely naked, then you have like one like standing in like swim trunks like with a surf suit, and then you have this other dude and that's like in like this big ass like snow costume. Like, wouldn't that be so funny? Like, instead of that we just have like human being, and then sometimes it's like, wow, rainbow kid, or human being, but then the rainbow kid gets like picked out because you have all this like this group, and then you have these rainbow people, or like the black and white people, or the surf suit, or like the naked guy, like then eventually you just have like this, like you get this issue, like this like coming together of like people to like form against like this smaller group. It gets this, I cannot find the word for it, but like you single each other out. And that's an issue, because I want to be able to be comfortable, because when I'm at home, I do not, like when I'm picking up my outfit, I'm not thinking like, ooh, I'm going to see people on the street and what do I want to present as and what do I want to show these people. It's more like I just say, yes, orange skirt, what fits with orange skirt, yes, gorgeous, princess, yes, goddess, person, I don't know, fucking gorgeous human being, yes, add this, add that, funny, I like this, ooh, I feel funny, Then I get outside and I'm like, oh shit, and this is what I'm wearing, I guess. Like, I instantly, and I'm gonna start like saying fuck that, because like also like I'm using these affirmations as if I am a prey, but bitch, no, you should be wary of me, like I will stomp on your ass with my demonias, like better be your ward. But like I do genuinely like feel that once I get outside I should be more wary, and that like I literally train myself to not look at the people around me, because I know people stare, I know they look at me, and this is so overwhelming for me. I need to be able to look right in front of me and not process any of the people like beside me because it's just too much for me to handle. I need to do some more makeup, but should I just like go full on crazy? I think I'm gonna go full on crazy. See, that could be interesting. Okay. Yeah, see, okay, we're talking about like individualism and how we should all like stand more in our individual powers and like be more accepting of like the fucking like the differences between like among us humankind. But the like a even bigger issue I find is that like a lot of people are so ignorant that they can literally not see a different option. Like they find it so hard to like transmute the way that they're thinking about certain like certain aspects of life. They cannot change this about them. Like if you want to see an actual change in that. But then the thing is also I'm like having such like interesting perspectives about this today. But then the issue is also that like I do think that a lot of us like have some sort of like not per se like sympathy but more like empathy. Like we do see where these people are coming from and why they act the way that they act, like why they might have an issue with our identities because oh they were raised Christian and oh this and that, and then I genuinely see them as like that as like a realistic genuine like perspective to take on it. Like oh no, they are homophobic, they want me to be dead, but that's because of their childhood, so this must be okay. Like that's genuinely how I think about it sometimes. I'm like, I cannot judge you too much either because we all like come from somewhere, and it doesn't have like that much of a good effect on my like heart because then I like kind of downplay myself and my having a perspective on it. Okay, rainbow bitch. I don't know, I find it like that it's such a common issue among like people. It's pretty cool, right? To be like, I feel scared when I'm on the street. I cannot walk alone at night. I cannot walk alone in certain clothing. I get stared at constantly. People have to comment on me constantly. Oh, I get called this because I wore this today. It's like, why are we not just all allowing others to... Why are we not even allowing... Why are we not appreciating the fact that we have such individuality? Like, why are we not appreciating the beauty that mankind holds in its creation? Like why are we not... Like, so many people are so limited in the way of, like, perceiving, and then they think that that must be the factual reality of it all, so then they start judging. They're like, this is wrong, because in my reality, in their reality, which they perceive as the reality, then it gets wronged in their head. They're like, this is not the way it's supposed to be. In my reality, this is not allowed, so you shouldn't be allowed to either. So then it, like, starts, like, transmuting into this, like, hatred and this, like very ignorant and sad energy where like so many people have to like fall prey to because we are like the people and welcome to the machine. Like this is like the way that it works, I guess. And me in my home, like that says enough. Like once I'm here in my individual space, I can literally just say like, hee hee, I'm gonna fucking film a YouTube video and like add like rainbow on my face after I say I want to add like some like nature-y vibes. Like I'm like, okay, well let's go full on rainbow berserk on my face. It's all possible. Like and I could literally just like use this and be like, yes, fashion, couture, wow, even better. I think I'm done. Like, and, like, I don't know, this is just good for my skin, I guess. But then when I'm out on the street, and this shouldn't be an issue, but it is to me, I guess, and I don't know if it is to everybody, but I do think that most people, if you look at, like, who walks across the street and how they present themselves, like, most people do see an issue with presenting yourself this way, because this feels more okay with me, because I'm like kind of morphing into like what people would expect of me. But once I'm like wearing those like white like dots on my face, I do not feel that secure on that, so I'll start feeling insecure in the outside world. And then when you have like the sexism aspect of it, it's like what do you wear, and like is this asking for it, and like is this like too risky for me to wear? Can I like wear this when I'm like going home, or should I like take extra clothing with me, so I should change when I'm like going home later at night, because I should be like less less comfortable, I guess, because I need to like change the way that people perceive me. Should I like dress up as a man even? Like, should I like almost make it look like I am a masculine figure? I apologize if I say anything triggering, and if anything is out of place. But I don't know, it's like so suffocating to have, like, especially for when you're highly sensitive, and that's like the shitty thing. Especially like women and like queer identities have to be quite high sensitive, because they come from such like like fragile perspectives in this world, like, because you do need to feel the way that people are feeling in order to know how they will react, and if you should feel wary or not. And that's an issue, because then you're like, oh, Jesus, I look insane. I don't know, it's just an issue. I'm crying now, because this has just turned into my follow my creative process on my face, because, I don't know. It's, welcome to my concept store. But I don't know, it's clear that it's like very prominent in like so many people's lives to feel unsafe on the streets, and I feel like a lot of people are even too ignorant to realize that people are feeling so uncomfortable on the streets. Because when I'm like walking across the walking across the streets, and like some people like want to start attacking me, they don't seem to sympathize with the fact that I'm just trying to fucking get home and have a nice fucking day out. Obviously not. And then some of them are actual kind people who will, for example, like stop their friends from like attacking people. But then it's still annoying that it had to be that way in the first place. Like, that I had to be protected by some, like, one of their friends. But that's just the way it is, I guess. Do not speak to me if you do not think this is an amazing eye look. I don't know, luckily we are entering like an age where, for me, for example, it isn't literally like illegal to wear like a skirt on the streets, because it used to be. Like, to wear a fucking piece of cloth going in a circular motion. I was like, no, if you do this, you're going to jail. It's like, okay. But kind of like the worst of it all, I feel, is that like the people who are all like suffering from like the same like enemy, who are part of like the people being hurt from the issue, like also find it hard to sympathize with each other, because they're already so like taken over by their own issues of it. But like, how do you want to sympathize? Because you're already having such a hard time by yourself. Like, how do you want to sympathize with my issues from it? Because like, we all have a hard as fuck. But then at the same time, it's like, how do you really want to relate to me? Because, for example, like, I might be like suffering from like the homophobia perspective of it, but then I do have the the male privilege and the white privilege, like I do have that in my pocket, like, but then like the homophobia of it all, like, is my main struggle of like being like not being seen. And like then I see that if I like start like having like a conversation with like a person of color, or like a woman, like someone who has been like just like someone like feminine presenting, that I will not be able to fully relate to your issue. So, and like at the same time, like I'm already so torn on my like my own issue of it all, like my perspective on like from like homophobia and like the queer hatred, and even like internalized homophobia, and just like even being a man, so having that privilege, but then being hated by man because you're okay with your femininity. So it's like so strange. Like you don't really feel sympathy from like anybody besides your own, and that's so fucked up, because like I started with, like in the beginning, we all have a common fucking enemy. But then when it comes to like the individuality of it, it gets bigger than that. It's also fucked up because you want to be able to just be together in it and feel that you are seen and loved. But then how do you want to feel seen if you're one of the few people in your circle that who fully understands what you're going through? And then you also get like this, then you get like the grouping system, because then you do have like the oppressors who like come together, because the people being oppressed like don't want to be part of the oppressors because they're done with that shit. They're like, I'm done with your attitude. I want to paint black tears on my face and have like rainbow skin, and I want you to stay out of my business. The queer community.
Yeah, one thing I want to add really quickly is that, like, beautifully, the queer community does really allow a lot of the minority to come together, so that's actually really cool.
So this is how it feels to me to be queer, I would say. Beautiful rainbow skin. But then, I don't know, they just put a black upside down cross on me, and now all I can do is cry black tears. I don't know. It's like individuality is just a hard conversation, and there's like loads of like parts where I cannot be part of the conversation because I am just not part of the conversation, and it just stays really realistic that I should like listen to certain perspectives rather than speak out about it. Like, like I've said many times, I don't know what my role is in all this, because I want to help and I want to try and see all the perspectives, but I see that I cannot see all the perspectives, and I see that I come from like privileged backgrounds, but then also have deprivileged stuff about me. Yeah, and it just gets a little hard to want to help so badly, but then feel when you would help, when you would try to help at least, that you would like be dehumanizing other people for their issues. And then also like my concept in the homophobia aspect of it all is like not everybody can relate to that. Masculine like men who do like men are like masculine types, so then they would be like, for example, like Eminem once said, why do all these F words do not, like, why don't you just do the same thing as me and present yourself as masculine? Like, why do you make the decision to be feminine? Like, do it like I did. Like decide to be a masculine type, so you won't get as like much homophobia about it, so you can make it in the scene. And like it's corrupt. Like, I will never be able to understand your perspective, and you'll never be able to understand my perspective. But we could try. We can try, and we can listen, and we can learn, and we can educate. And for now, I've learned that best thing to do for me, at least, is to just try and be as sensitive as I can and continue crying in satanic. So, okay. Points in case. A lot of us have the same enemy, but the way that the enemy manifests is different among each other, and the way that the enemy presents is an enemy. Because I must say, I really have an issue with men. I do. And it's not because I hate men, I just feel unsafe with men. I cannot trust, I do not trust, I do not feel... I feel like I should not be allowed to trust a man, like, because I feel like I will get attacked, I feel like I am judged, I feel like I am looked down upon, I feel like I am, like, literally when I'm in the presence of a straight man, and I'm gonna expose myself here, I start listening to my voice, and I'm like, oh my god, what do I, like, oh my god, I sound so feminine, and then I suddenly notice the way that I walk, and I'm like, ugh, like, ew, like, how dare I even, then I think about the way that I dress. Like, even though when back at the back, like, this is my highly sensitive bullshit and my insecurity. Like, when I'm at home, I'm like, I'm the baddest bitch. But then when I'm around all the people that, like, are, like, have, like, no education in, like, gender expression and sexuality and all that stuff, and suddenly I feel so degraded and small and, like, strange. Like, I feel ugly, I feel like I did a bad job, but then when I get home, I'm like, what the fuck, I look stunning, like, why did not everybody give me a compliment, like, I look amazing, but then when I'm with those people, I feel ugly, I feel small, I feel disgusting, I feel de-appreciated, I feel judged, I feel not seen, and I feel like I have to work, like, I feel like I have to work, like 10 times as hard, especially with men, to gain any sort of, like, common respect. As an artist, like, when presenting myself to, like, the masculine the masculine artists, they first look at me like, sure you can do art, sure, like, and then I show myself, and I let them see, yes, I am an artist. Excuse you, mister, yes, I am an artist. And then suddenly they have to, like, they do see me more, but I see that if another straight man would have been like, hey dude, I make some art, they would have been like, whoa dude, show me. It's different, it's just different, it works different. And then I'm crying about it, even though I have rainbow skin. I'm crying about my rainbow skin. Like, what is that? Why do I do that? Why do we need to do that? Cry about our rainbow skin? I wished we loved individuality. I wished we promoted being an individual. I wish that when someone came to Earth, instead of being like, I feel like he's this, I feel like he's that, I feel like she's this, I feel like she's that, that I would have been like, who are you? I'm excited to get to know you as you get older. Like, hi baby, no clue who you are, I see you. You're created from my sperm, my uterus. Like, you were created by me, but I have no clue who you are. I'm excited to see how you grow up, and see who you turn into. Let's go to the store. Do you feel drawn to the cars or the dolls, or do you want flowers? Do you want a teddy bear, or what do you want, sweetheart? What are you into? Are you gonna start complaining about longer hair, or do you wanna, like, grow it as long as you please? Are you gonna tell me that you wanna wear a dress of mine, or are you gonna tell somebody else that you would love to, like, stop wearing dresses because you hate how it looks on you? Like, are you gonna wanna be an artist with instinct of human nature, or do you want to be a business person? Do you want to, like, enter the business, and do you want to live in the city, or do you want to become a farmer, or do you want to make your own business, and what business would it be? Regardless of who they were perceived to be, let them perceive themselves and be the creators of their own reality, of their own instincts, of their own identity. Because where would the identity crisis come from if not that we were already firm in the feeling of freedom in our own identity? Like, why would we have an identity issue, like an identity crisis, if we would already feel free in the expression of identity? Like, then it wouldn't be like, oh fuck, who the fuck am I even? It would have been like, oh, I guess I like something else now. I'm gonna do that now. Okay, bye, person from, like, the business store. I'm gonna go to a farm now. Bye. Like, then it would be so much more normal. But still, I'm crying. And still I have a black cross on my face. Upside down. I didn't draw it on myself. I did, but I did not, in the big scheme of things, I did not draw this upon myself. This was pushed upon me. I don't know. Like, I'm not a Christian, but I would love to be seen as, like, one of the beautiful creations of God, like in the perspective of the Christian. But I'm not. I'm seen as the presence of the devil on earth. Like, okay, mama, sure. That's why I want to wear dresses and listen to beautiful music and just want to dance in the flowers and just look up at the moon and sing and scream and cry and just be part of nature, feel love, be loved, like have freedom. That's why I want to, because I'm a satanic creature, I'm a demon. That's why I want to be so expressive and so happy and just create happiness within others and just feel inspiration and be inspired and inspire the others, because I'm a satanic creature. That's how this works, you know. The way that at my work, Christian people look at me like I'm a piece of shit. The way that like people that like have such a belief system, and I'm also generalizing now. I do take note of that. That's also an issue. The way that some Christian people look down upon me and make me feel like I'm like less than and worthy of less. With attitude, like when all I'm doing is just trying to be kind. This ugly face because I'm yawning. Hi, I'm Rafael. What's your name?